So I wanted to talk about how the enemy will tempt us. Woo, child. And how we will never be tempted by anything that's that we wouldn't desire, right? So, for instance, say you on a diet and you like, okay, no fried foods. I got 30 days, no fried foods. The enemy will tempt you with not just any fried food, but the kind you really like. For instance, say you don't even like fried chicken. So somebody had fried chicken sitting in front of you, like, oh, okay, I can stick to my diet because that ain't what I be desiring. But you love fried fish though. Fried fish sit up in front of you, like, oh my God, tempted. Now your mouth watering, your insides is jumping, cause you like, oh man, it smell good. I can imagine the taste in my mouth. Oh my God, ooh. And so the enemy will tempt us in that same way, okay? I am sucrose intolerant. So, for those of you that don't know what that means, if I eat sugar, especially something that has a lot of sugar in it, I'd be sick for about 3 days. Cramping really bad, nauseous, horrible headache. I have to drink a lot of water and let my body just like purge, because sugar messes me up. That doesn't mean like I don't still crave sweets, because sometimes I'll be like, oh man, like I love a banana pudding. I like whatever it is that I see people with cake or something, but I know that if I consume it, it's gonna make me sick. I know that that's off limits for me, and it's going to make me sick, right? Even though I still got a desire for it. And another example, I'm just going to throw out one more example of, say you're trying to practice celibacy, and your type is tall, dark, and handsome, right? And, short, light skin, could still be handsome, shows up. You like, I'm good, That short light skin may try to say something slick to you that will make you like, maybe I'll try that or something like that. Well, say something slick as far as sexually, and you be like, nah. But what you like show up and might say something slick to you, but like you can be a little bit more tempted. Like, oh, no, this is my type, okay? So anyways, the knowing of the enemy shows up with exactly what you desire, what you have a craving for, and use that to tempt you, to get you off course. And I've been studying the story of Samson, going to Judges 13 and 14. Since his birth, God has set him apart to serve him. He gave him supernatural strength, and he was so strong he could tear a lion apart, right? So God put him on an assignment. He said, I need you to go and kill the Philistines, because they were Israel's enemy. So he get there and he fall in love. He fall in love with a Philistine woman. He see her, he like, that's my type. That's my type. Okay, she right. And he goes back and tell his parents, like, yeah. So I see something I like. That's why I want to marry. Like, go get her for me. And his parents like, what? Like, out of all people, this is what you come up with? This is what you showing up with? And he like, that's what I want. And so his family, because back in it was tradition for the family to have a dinner and invite their family. You invite your family to dinner. Both families would be at dinner. And so while they were at dinner, Samson Whew, y'all, I got them trembling. Samson gave the Philistines a riddle. And so he said, you have 7 days to solve the riddle. If you solve the riddle, I'll give you 30 pieces of linen garments and 30 changes of clothes. If you solve it. If you can't solve it, you have to give me 30 linen garments and 30 changes of clothes. And so the Philistines couldn't figure out the riddle. A couple days go by, they like, bruh, we cannot figure out what it is. So they go to the wife and they like, you need to find out from your husband what the answer is to the riddle, because we gonna take an L if you don't find out, right? So she goes to go ask her husband, and after nagging him about it for a minute, he finally tells her. She goes back to her people, tell them what the answer to the riddle is, and they solve the riddle. So Samson like, hold on, like, how y'all so he went and killed some of their people. He was so mad and frustrated, he went and killed some of their people, took their garments off of them, and then gave it to the other ones. So when he came back, let me make sure I'm right about that. Yeah, when he came back, he found out that his wife had married a whole nother man, right? And her dad was like, well, I gave her to another man because I figured, you wouldn't want her after she betrayed you. So now he heated and he hurt. He feel betrayed. He got grief. But okay. So he's hurt and he feels betrayed and he has grief. Then he goes haywire, right? So he started burning all their stuff down, all the Philistine stuff down, start killing everybody and everything. And what his parents never knew, like, even though he was completely out from their eyes, he was completely outside of God's will for his life. He was supposed to go and defeat the Philistines, not go and find somebody to marry. They didn't know that God was going to use that still, So the devil, was probably like, oh yeah, like, you telling him to go defeat the enemy, like you've raised him and set him apart all this time, giving him this supernatural strength. He over there in love. Don't worry about it. He over there, in love. He ain't gonna defeat it. And so God like, sit tight, hold tight. It's a plot twist, because she would betray him for her own people, and he gonna be so hurt by it. Not only did she betray him, but he gonna be so hurt by the fact that she wouldn't marry somebody else, that the God's will still gonna be done. Period. Like, now he's so mad. Now he want to kill all of them. He ain't no emotion in it. Everybody must go. Okay. And so I'm saying that to say, like, sometimes we do things completely outside of God's will for us. We fall short, make mistakes, and but God will still use that. God will still use our mistakes, for our benefit, and he will redeem us. So instead of just sitting around beating ourselves up about decisions that we made where we fell short, or we lacked in some area, learn from the mistake, but also know that God will redeem you, plot twist your whole situation, and still ensure that you back on the right path to do what to be in alignment with what his will for your life, right? He will still use our shortcomings, hit us with plot twists. And I wrote notes again, y'all. Yeah. So knowing that God will turn things around for our benefit, even when we fall short, even when what we craving and desire and our type, whatever is in front of us, and we get tempted by something, and we're like, oh, let's try that, or I think this is it, or you go and do something you ain't even supposed to be doing. You get tempted by something. That one thing, that what you need at that moment, or what you desire, especially in that moment, your inside start raising up and you get excited, make a mistake, do something you ain't supposed to be doing. But God will still use that. God will still use that. All right. I love you all in real life.